Okay.
Considering this is a West Coast project, how did you and Brina landed the role for Tales of Xillia 2?
Actually, that was Patrick Seitz doing. He knew that they. I don't know exactly how he came about reaching out to a lot of us, but he reached out to a lot of the Texas actors when auditions for Xillia 2 came up. Because he just sent us outside and said, "Hey, this game's coming up, and they're looking for some people, and I've got the guys out here interested in hearing some new voices. So if you'd like to audition, we'd love to have you." And then so yeah,
They needed to, because the Tales folk had like exhausted every actor in Los Angeles. Like we've all worked on a Tales game, so they needed flesh blood.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna get more Texas Funimation voice actors.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Yes. And I will say this, even though like the other characters haven't been announced yet, so I won't say who, but I will say expect some in Xillia 2, aside from just Brina and myself. So.
Right, the second question was, do you have any other funny stories from the booth in general? It doesn't have to be video games, it doesn't have to be your experience. Something funny.
There was one time I knocked my tea over in a booth.
So quick bloopers, just because we're trying to keep moving. I worked on a Fist of the North Star video game called Ken's Rage, where I voiced Ray, who's a character who slices people apart with his fingers. So his fighting style. And one of the lines didn't quite make it through translation. It was translated, but it wasn't interpreted yet for the American script. And so we're just cold reading through the script really fast, going through the lines, and I get to one of his attack lines, and I say it out loud. And say, "There's no way you can stop me from getting my fingers inside you." That was like a long pause between the guys who look at each other and go. We're gonna work on rewriting that one.
Oh my god.
Context is everything.
It's amazing. When we were recording Xillia 2, there were a couple of times where I just started going a little crazy in the booth, and I started talking about Luger's secret love relationship with his tomatoes. And things got weird. I will not repeat them here.
But at the 18 plus panel tonight, perhaps. But for the record, for the 18 plus panel, they may have moved it to 10:30 as opposed to 10. I say may, they told me mid-May. As far as I know, it's 10:30 now. So,
18 plus panel.
so you guys wanted to come, you can still get there early. Just letting you know, you might be waiting just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, autograph session tomorrow, 11. Right here, 11 to 12 tomorrow for the autograph session, 11 to 12.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Good. This question's more video game and personal related than voice acting. Matt, there's a video of you on YouTube playing.
Does no good story start like that?
Oculus Rift, you're playing Dread Halls.
Yes.
It's fun if you haven't seen it. It's good. What are your thoughts on VR? You think it's going to, change how you guys live a little bit?
Oculus Rift, I think it's going to change a lot of stuff.
I think Oculus Rift is the first step in changing a lot of stuff. Having played Oculus Rift, I don't get motion sickness, but every single time I use it, I am like nauseous for the next hour and a half. I had to go to the DMV after I shot that, and I was just sitting there waiting on.
You see it?
But it was awesome. Like I was frustrated. I'm like, this is almost worth it. This is almost worth it. Like I've usually a few times since I've gotten used to it. It's not quite as bad. I still get a little nauseous. But there's also some new tech. With any new technology, it just keeps advancing. But like. Man, it is cool what they can do now. Instead of playing Dread Halls, which was scary as, oh my god. Dread Halls was crazy. Well, the first time I played through it, I beat it. Like, you encounter a monster.
You actually made it.
Yeah, it was weird. And then it's like, no, it wasn't fair. I played a second time, and I did, and then I like screamed like a baby for the next 10 minutes. But no, I think it's tremendous, especially with like, I don't know if you've seen the videos of the other VR peripherals people are designing. They have like a belt system you can strap yourself in. Yeah, and it's like, the ground is all like ball bearings, and you can walk. The guy's playing Skyrim with that, so he's like really walks forward. The character walks forward, and he has like a Wiimote thing for his bow and arrow. And I'm like, I would never leave the house. Yeah, I would never leave the house. Why would I want to?
There was something I saw also recently too that somebody that apparently was designing something that was supposed to go work in tandem with the Oculus Rift. That was kind of like it was a omnidirectional. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a treadmill. It was like an omnidirectional treadmill. That's the ball bearings thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, that thing.
Yeah, no, we're going to be plugging ourselves into the Matrix on purpose.
Yes, very soon. I don't say this. Red, blue pill, doesn't matter. I'm going in.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hello.
I had a question for Matt. In
Yes.
working with motion capture, does working with mocap help you feel like you can become the character more for when you want to like do the voices? And is it easier with motion capture, or you feel better in your box?
They're different. They're very different. Motion capture for me is closer to film because it has memorization, which means you can play a little bit more with it, and it's purely based on your performance. So you can take whatever pace you want, any beats. It's really up to your own interpretation. So it's very freeing to be in motion capture. Plus the physicality is really cool too. Like I tend to be physical in the booth anyway. Like if I'm doing the voice of a goblin or an orc.
They're like, oh, I destroyed the box as it is. So
Yeah.
I'll probably do that anyway.
Yeah, no, when I was recording Thundercats, they used to give me crap because everyone needed to give me my personal space bubble because I tended to flail a bunch and like I'd hit Kevin Mike Richardson or Will Friedle. Yeah, because I didn't mean to, but like even today when I'm doing combat sounds, I can't do a combat sound without like doing the move.
Yeah.
If it's a slash move, I'll be like, yeah, and the director will just look up and be like, give me crap for it. Like, it's hard not to.
And I'm doing it without doing that.
Seriously,
I know.
it's part of the physicality. I mean,
Yeah.
like, the physicality helps. Helps with performance.
But there's some actors that come in there and sit down and are perfectly still and deliver an amazing performance. And I'm like,
that is Lucy Christian. That woman is a machine. She is not a living baby. She is a robot. She is the have you ever seen? Do you know Lucy?
Yeah, I know Lucy.
Okay, yeah. She will come in and she will sit down cross-legged with a crossword puzzle, and she will just. How to make the greatest thing you've heard. I know. She just sit there. Okay, Lucy, we're ready. Okay. Da 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 da. Did it fit? Yeah. Okay. Next one.
I walk into a booth and I see like a chair and I'm like, get that shit out of here. I'm standing.
I mean, she's one of the few actresses, or even just actors, actresses in general that I know that can sit down the entire session and just give you gut-wrenching, sobbing screams that just sound like you're standing up. You feel like she's being killed or whatever. And she's insane. She's amazing.
So do you prefer motion capture?
There's no preference. I like them both for different reasons. Because also voice, with motion capture also casts similar to film in the fact that you are a certain body type. So like I generally only get cast. I wouldn't be cast for like a gargantuan Travis Willingham character, nor would I be called in for like a tiny impish. But I can play those for voiceover because it has no bearing on my physicality. So I find I get a chance to perform a larger range of characters for voiceover. But motion capture too is a lot of fun to be physically in the role and play it more like an actual theatrical scene. Yeah, it is role playing essentially, which is totally my bailiwick. Also, props if you know the word bailiwick. Those who don't, it's a good word. No worries. Thank you. Yes. Bailiwick, by the way, means your realm of expertise. So like bailiff is based on. Anyway, you learned something today. Hello, sir.
Hello. I had a different question in mind before I came up here, but when you brought up how you do voices for games in the very early stages of production, it just made me think, a lot of video games will change dramatically from the early stages to the final form. Do you tend to be aware, if you record something and then whatever you recorded gets cut from the final game, if a scene or a whole character?
Like a sorry note from the mail. You're not in anymore.
Or is that more like something where you don't even realize until you buy the game 2 weeks later?
That's how it works out.
Yeah.
As far as the production side of things, the actors are very low on the priority list when it comes to getting a game shipped, which is understandably so. We're an important but a small part of what is a very large technical 50 to 100 person puzzle over 3 years of development. So if they have to cut features or scenes in the game, that's completely their prerogative and they have very good reasons for it. And while it may be sad to lose those scenes,
Do you still get paid for them?
yeah, we still get paid for them, so that's fine.
Yeah, at least there's that.
Yeah, but they have their reasons, they have their choices. Like for Soul Calibur 5, we recorded a whole bunch of storyline stuff. I did 2 sessions straight that was just backstory and cutscenes and character interaction. When the final game came out, they cut most of it because I guess they couldn't make the deadline or there was a choice made in production to get rid of it. And I was sad to see it go, but nevertheless, I'm sure they had their reasons for it, and that's out of my realm.
And my other question was about video game antiques. Are there any?
They are. They just never really make it to many games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
wondering.
think like
okay.
the only time I can ever think of but it's not really an outtake. I mean, in the sense of it being like an accident that was recorded and then they shared it, but it was something that was like premeditated and they all did together. Would be like the guys in the old Summoner games. You remember those? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
outtakes where they did the whole CGI thing of the Day Wives.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds the clip playing D&D.
Yeah.
Like, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So like, they're out there, but usually they're just hoarded by the sound engineer for blackmail on his actors.
So you won't hear about any anime cons, like any of Richard Gar's stuff?
You can pay a lot of money to an audio engineer, and they'll probably be able to provide you.
Really, I don't have a lot of money.
None of us do. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Can you imagine people like going to audio engineers like, I need my outtake fix, man.
Man, that's a whole industry for them they haven't tapped yet.
Hello guys.
Good, how you doing?
I have two questions. One's for Josh. How did you feel about playing Hughes in Fairy Tale?
Hughes was fun.
Yeah.
Hughes was really fun. Especially that I got to write the episode well, it was some of the big episodes that he was in. Yeah, he was a really fun guy.
And my second question is for Matt. How did you feel about playing Kanji in the Persona animation after hearing Troy Baker play in the actual game?
It was great. Me and Troy are good friends, and we tend to have a similar timbre in a lot of ways. So we filled in for each other on a number of projects. We're kind of like go-tos for each other. And being a fan of Persona 4 and the character Kanji, when he couldn't make it because he had to be on honeymoon and they needed it done by a certain date, he recommended me. And so taking over for the character, like taking over for any pre-existing character, which seems to be a theme for me in a lot of cases, it's intimidating. There's a pre-existing fan base that expects a certain level of quality. And so I did my best to not only research and hone in my best impression of Kanji, but really kind of help still continue bringing the character to life. And so it was intimidating, but it was also a good challenge, and I enjoyed the character thoroughly. So it was a lot of fun.
Kanji's fun.
Yeah, he's
Real
good.
quick, can
Those
you
two
just say
things.
the Y in the Seven Hells line from Crime?
What was the full line?
The Y in the Seven Hells line?
Is it just saying why to someone else? We read a lot of lines on that, so I don't know which one that was.
It's why the seven hells by fighting for someone else's aesthetic.
Is he really angry when he says that?
Yeah.
Why in the seven hells am I fighting for someone else's nest egg?
Yes!
Who says live action can't be good?
How you doing?